Hello there, welcome to my personal hell. So I made a website called blindbase.net, and it's like an all-in-one tool to learn freestyle, right? So I was making it, and I was making the timer tool, and I needed scrambles. And so I looked at like what CS Timer does, what like the WCA does for their scrambles, and it became very clear very quickly that they use a Rubik's Cube solving algorithm where they take like a scrambled cube, like this is the scrambled state that they want, and then they solve it and they give you that in reverse, so you end up with this scramble. And that's how it generally works for most like respected scrambles, right? And that's done with a thing called Kosiemba's algorithm. And because I was making blindbase.net for my A-level computing coursework, I was like, hey, I'll just like implement that and then I'll get like all of the marks, right? Because that's like complicated. I quickly realized it was too complicated, and whatever I would make would be bad. So I scrapped that, and I just copied the one from CS Timer because CS Timer is open source. I just stole the code. It's not stealing, technically. I think I'm allowed to do it. So yeah, that's what you see in front of me here. But then, after I had basically finished the main parts of BlindBase, I was like, hey, I could go back to that though. I could solve this thing. So I did that, and I went down the rabbit hole, and it was arduous. And this is the result of that, which is not an explanation, but a place for resources. So, I started work on basically a really big slideshow that I was going to make a YouTube video about, but I decided not to. But you can still go read these yourselves if you want like a rundown on how Kosiemba's algorithm works, or at least how a very basic implementation of it might work. So you can go look at that. There's also Sebastian Larg's videos. He made a 2-part series on Rubik's Cube solving algorithms, except he goes into it from a very much more intuitive lens. So definitely check that out if you want to build it up from there. Whereas my slides, they tend to start from building. So they start by building towards the final thing rather than taking a little meander in a way that you understand it really well. So if you're looking for resources for that, definitely check out those 2 things. And then what I was actually going to present is I did a little bit of programming. So initially I did my implementation of Kosiemba's algorithm in C for some reason. So I made that, and it ran like actually quite well. And then I was like, hold up, this is very complicated and I don't like that. What if I just put it all into one Python file? So this is one Python file. I think it's about 500 lines-ish. And yeah, so it's 514 lines, and it covers everything. So there's a little description of it here. It will give you like all the code in one file. It'll have a very basic implementation of Kosiemba's algorithm. So once you've looked at these things, you can go here and study it, and it's got comments and it's got references, so you can try checking those out. So yeah, check out my code. That was the whole video. I wasn't joking.